We got a man down. Paulie, what are you doing? Nick Newell is a pro MMA fighter. His nickname is Notorious. So you start there, and then Paulie, of course, Walter Mitty, says, I could take a kick. Let me see what he can do with me. And I walk over, and I can't find you. You're down on the ground. You all right?
I introduced myself to Nick, and we were just talking about stuff, and he was going over like what he does for a living and his signature moves. And I said, so like a spinning kick to the head. Can you do that? Not right now. But he was like, well, no, because these jeans are too tight. And he goes, I could only probably kick you maybe at the leg level. And then he did it.
Yeah, and you went down.
I didn't know it was coming.
All right, let me give you the full introduction here. Nick Newell faces Tom Marcelino.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
That'll be on NBCSN's World Series of Fighting telecast this Saturday, October 17th at Foxwoods Resorts Casino. You're 12-1, and you're a local guy here from Milford, Connecticut. When did you get into this MMA?
I started off wrestling in high school. I wanted to be a professional wrestler. I had no idea what was even going on. I thought I was going to be hitting people with steel chairs or something. And I kind of fell in love with it. Ever since I was a kid, I always loved combat sports. I like Ninja Turtles and Jean-Claude Van Damme movies and stuff like that. So I always kind of gravitated towards that. And then once I got to college and I was wrestling in college, I knew of a gym around there. And I was like, hey, I'll learn to fight. I started fighting. I didn't have any grand plans, and I just got carried away. And now I am a world champion. And I fight for one of the biggest leagues in the world, and I'm one of the top contenders in that league as well.
Did anybody try to discourage you from this?
No one that knows me would ever tell me not to do it. Obviously, like you were saying, the power of social media. People say things on social media, but I never let stuff like that get to me. Well, you shouldn't fight or this and that.
Because
I was born with one hand. But I have a 12-1 record, and I have 10 first-round wins. So. I don't listen to those people. I just do whatever I want, and I just follow my passion, and it's led me this far.
Do you have any limitations having one hand?
I mean, it's kind of difficult to climb a rope. If I wanted to climb a rope, I'm sure I could figure out a way.
No, I'm talking about in the ring.
In the ring, no.
The octagon.
I don't have my left cross, but I find different ways to win. I think one of my best weapons is how intelligent I am. I can fight smart, and I can figure out certain situations, what's the right thing to do at the right time. I have good timing, so it's not really a big deal to me. You look at someone like me, and you see my limitations. You can see it. It's visible. Other people have limitations. You can't see them, So it's the same as everyone else. I don't think my path was any harder than anyone else's. I don't think I had I don't look at myself as like, I'm going to show the world. I'm just doing something I like, and I'm good at it.
How do you think this impacts your opponent when they see this? Did anybody feel sorry for you when you wrestled? I know that this is professional and you can hurt somebody, but just visually when somebody sees this, do you sense anything from them?
I hope it psychs them out maybe a little bit, so it gives me an advantage. But I don't think so, not at this level. Maybe when I was wrestling in high school, one guy asked me if I needed help putting my ankle band on. They give you a red and a green one. He's like, you need help putting that on? I was like, no, bro, I'm good. And then I pinned him in real fast, I think maybe within the first minute.
They learn. They learn quickly.
I guess at this point, you know everything about your opponent going into the fight. And nothing really takes them as a surprise, I would think. You'd have to ask them.
Do you have a role model of somebody you looked up to in sports?
Well, obviously growing up, that's an easy question. I think you can answer for me. You probably know. No, Jim Abbott.
Jim Abbott, the pitcher?
Yeah, obviously. I saw you had his book in the waiting room.
Yes, one of my favorite guests and a great athlete, not just a great pitcher. Have you met Jim Abbott?
Yeah, actually, I went to lunch with him after my World Series of Fighting debut. 2 years ago. So he's a super cool guy. Obviously that's who I looked up to. When I was growing up, they didn't have the internet like now. So I was the only kid I knew that had one hand. And then I saw this guy on TV and I'm like, wow, this guy has one hand too. He's like me. And then I saw him throwing a no-hitter, know? So, obviously I look up to him.
Yeah, Fritzy.
Mr. Jim Abbott is on the line and would like to say hi to Nick Newell.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Hey, Dan. Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Hey, this is a good surprise. You guys are full of tricks. How's it going, Jim?
Hey, Nick. I'm so cool, man. I'm so happy to call in and say hello to you and congratulate you on all the success. You are a bad dude, man, and I'm rooting for you. I love all the success you're having, and just like you said, you're good, man. You're doing great.
Thank you. It means a lot, obviously, coming from you.
Jim, what advice did you give Nick when you guys had lunch?
You know, Nick is one of my favorite athletes out there today. I love following him on his career and all the things he's doing. And I've met a lot of kids who face similar challenges as Nick and I do. And I think the advice is just do what you love to do. I mean, he looked at me and said, you know what? I don't want to be a shortstop. I don't want to be a pitcher. I want to do something that I love to do. And he's out there fighting. He's in a tough world where nobody's going to, give him any breaks, and they're trying to beat him badly out there, and he's tough, and he's handling it, and he didn't need any advice from me. He's got everything he needs right there in his heart.
Did you have anybody that you looked up to? Because, as Nick is saying, there wasn't the internet. I didn't have anybody else until I saw you, and I'm curious, who was your inspiration?
I didn't really have a lot of, I wish the internet would have been around. I heard a few more stories. But I grew up in Michigan, so the Detroit Tigers and University of Michigan football players, Ricky Leach was my hero growing up. But, I'm inspired to this day, Dan. I mean, Nick, and there's so many kids out there doing incredible things, and Nick's at the forefront of showing people what they can do. And I just, I'm not a huge wrestling fan. I can't lie and say I don't know anything about it, but I just love the fact that he's out there in a very, very tough environment where somebody walks in that ring and wants to kick your butt. He says, here, bring it on. Let's see what we can do. And, he's a bad dude. I root for him. He's great.
Jimmy, good to talk to you again. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, thanks for calling in.
My pleasure, Dan. Keep it up, Nick. Proud of you, man.
Thank you.
It's Jim Abbott, former Major League Baseball pitcher. So you got your fight coming up Saturday night against Tom Marcelino at the Foxwood Resort Casino, NBC-SN's World Series of Fighting telecast. Yeah, Jim Abbott was a great high school quarterback. Here he is with he has one hand, and then you're a Major League Baseball pitcher. So to be able to do that was remarkable to see how well he did it without, you didn't draw attention to it. Just amazing. Yeah. So I'm not sure how aware you are of Jim Abbott's career, but he was a great high school quarterback as well.
Oh, yeah, and you know what? He's phenomenal, and I think I wanted to be him when I was growing up, but I think the fastest I ever threw a baseball was maybe 60 miles an hour, so I had to move on to something else. It wasn't my calling.
When people know that this is what you do for a living, you're always going to get some tough guy who's going to say, or somebody who's got beer muscles who's going to say something to you, right?
Yeah, I've had incidents. I've had people that say, "Oh, I could beat that guy up," or try to start with me.
Have you ever had?
But I'm very unassuming guy. I don't start with anyone. I keep myself out of trouble. So, I've had people that try to fight me before, yeah, and it never ends up well for them.
But how quickly would it take if I said Paulie is coming over and wants a piece of you in a real fight? How long would it take with Paulie before it's over?
Oh, he'd be faking an injury before he got to the door.
Oh, he wouldn't even get to the door?
Yeah, he wouldn't even make it there.
Yeah. But I can see where you can dial it up, your intensity, because you're a handsome kid, you got a great smile, quiet, unassuming, and all of a sudden, you don't get a nickname Notorious if, you're that kind of guy.
Well, the truth about the nickname is that I gave it to myself. They don't tell you to give nicknames to yourself. But when I was starting fighting, I didn't want like a stupid nickname. Like I didn't want people calling me like the one-arm wonder or like something stupid like that. I wanted it to be about fighting because I'm a fighter that happens to have one hand. I'm not a one-handed guy that's fighting. I feel like it's a part of my story. It's not my whole story. It definitely gets me interest, but I at the time, no one had the nickname Notorious, so I was like, it sounds cool, Notorious Nick Newell. It rings. No one's going to give me a dumb nickname. I'm just going to go with this and roll with it. So that's the story behind it. There's not like a cool story like someone's like, hey, you know what would be cool? Like I made it up for myself.
You could be called righty, like guys are called lefty. Like you could have a sense of humor with it.
Yeah, I was actually born a lefty, so I kick with my left foot. So you could imagine I was pretty good at kickball back in the day because everyone probably went to the right side, and then I'd blast one with my left foot.
Well, good luck this weekend.
Thank you. I brought you gifts.
Oh, you did?
So this is your most prized thing. It's my Newell World Order hat, and by Vanguard MMA. It's awesome. And this is a Lucky Finn bracelet. It's my nonprofit that I work with for kids with limb differences.
Oh, nice.
The Lucky Finn Project. So those are both yours. You can keep them. And, from one Milford resident to another.
Thank you
thanks for
coming
having
in.
me on.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And we'll be watching on Saturday night.
Yeah, definitely tune in. NBCSN is my fight. I'm on the main card. It's a great card. There's this card, and then they're having a tournament on November 20th. One of the fights they want me to announce was Rich Petichnock versus Luis Palomino. Should be a great fight, good lightweight tournament, and the winner of that fights for the title, and then unfortunately one of them has to meet me eventually.
Oh boy!
So so they gotta watch out because I'm coming for the belt. And
are you a fan of Ronda Rousey?
Of course, she's amazing. You know what she does. Her hips are so good, and her judo, and she's getting better at striking, and she's just very dominant. I'm a fan of everyone. I'm a fan of the sport. So, maybe there's some people I don't like, but for the most part, I like everyone.
Okay, because I only watch usually one round. So that's about all I have. So can you take care of business in one round on Saturday night?
I'll get it done for you, Dan. I'll do it for you.
I appreciate that.
When I'm done, I'll give the thumbs up to the camera. You'll know it's for you.
I love that. And when you have your post-match press conference, if you can drop the expression passion bucket.
Okay.
Your passion bucket was full.
This bucket.
Yes.
It's already filled up. The passion.
Yes.
There's not even room for any more.
Absolutely not. Your passion bucket is full.
Okay.
It was overflowing. I couldn't help. I had to hurt this guy. But make sure you knock him out, though. Yeah,
I'm gonna. I have 10 first-round finishes.
Yeah. Well,
so out of 12 wins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got one round. That's all I got. I mean, my attention span is really, really limited. So you got me for one round.
Oh, trust me. I'm a ADD brother myself. I have to go in and get it done.
He's notorious Nick Newell.
Yeah, that's me.
Good luck this weekend.
The one and only.
The one and only. I like that one. I like that as a nickname.
Oh, yeah, because the
one and only.
There you go.
What do you think?
It's going to be hard to change now, but I'll let you call me it.
I hope to call you champ.
Yeah.
Again. Thank you, Nick. We'll come back. We'll get to your phone calls. Best and worst of the weekend. This is the Dan Patrick Show.